national anthems. First of all, the national anthem of the designated visiting team, our hosts, Poland.
If I could pull myself.
Yes.
Yeah. But
maybe your wife has a clone, so that should help.
She does.
So what's wrong with that?
The takeover is gradual. It's not a coup d'etat. It's
And once again from Wrocław, Poland for Ukraine in their opening game on Wednesday. Hello and welcome, Ralph Bednarczyk, joined by my partner here in Fraser Hunter, member of the Scottish national team player pool. Poland very frustrated to lose on their home field in game one. They had a nice crowd on hand, a lot of self-inflicted wounds. Meanwhile, Spain handled their business against the Ukraine, but now they're stepping up in competition today.
Definitely. I think that Polish team would be a little bit disappointed with the result on Wednesday night, sorry. Lost track of days. But they showed a lot of heart in the end. 4-goal run towards the end. One big save from the Czech keeper sort of kept them out. But this Spanish team, I had the privilege of commentating their opening game against Ukraine. They've got a lot of talent in that attack. So definitely in for an interesting matchup. And I'm excited to see how this one fares.
And Spain may have a game changer sometime to win the group. The Poles having their work cut out for them as the host country, having lost by a goal to Czechia 10-9, struggling with turnovers in particular. 3 substitution infractions that cost them the ball also led to a quality Czechia's offense getting the extra possessions that they would need. Meanwhile, Spain built up the 9-1 lead over the Ukraine before they comfortably pulled away. under their head coach, Jose Luis Mendoza. Meanwhile, Billy McNamara, head coach of Poland. Greg Majic will take the opening faceoff for the Poles. And Luis Kodurke Ferrer, the faceoff man for Spain. Poland in the red on red. And the gold on gold for Spain. Majic commits the early infraction on the false start. So it is Spain that will have it. So Spain happy with the way they shot the ball early and jumped down in front. On the attack, Matt Napolitano, who's a high schooler from the U.S. John Bota on the attack. He's a high school coach at Mayapack High School in the United States. And Antonio Marquez Lorente, Toto as they call him, are the three attackmen. And we'll run through the first midfield starters with Griffin Guerin, Ismael Elbargi Ramiro, and Fernando Martinez. Underway here with Christian Zvalewski getting the start in goal for the second straight game for the Poles. A skip comes near side for Elbargi Ramiro. He frees up the hands and misses the shot. To note for our viewers that are watching, this is field 2. There's also field 3. This is a thick grass field. The other field, field 1, is a turf field, so bounce shots could be interesting, certainly as we get deeper into the tournament and the area around the crease starts to really get worn out. That could have a difference, make a difference. And also this field experienced some rain for about 45 minutes earlier. Feed down low and the bouncer works. John Bota, big leader on the team who loves to play inside. He got the pass from Matt Napolitano and it's 1-0.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. John Bota yesterday was a big influence on this team. He's just made a little cut inside and defender caught napping a little bit. Catches it and finishes it inside. Tidy little finish and a nice little move from Spain. They'll enjoy that 1-0 lead early on.
So many different philosophies offensively, Frazier, and talking to Jose Luis Mendoza. Similar to the modern style, he's given his team a fundamental structure of a 2-3-1, but he wants them to take ownership and to be creative within that offense. And everybody to be fearless, as Matthew Till off the wing for Poland, a player at the University of Pennsylvania out of the Bullis School in Maryland, will drop it off, and the Poles get to work offensively for the first time. In goal for Spain, their starter is Paul Walter Diaz. Mom is from Spain, and Poland with Jan Mikołaj Śmigel, Tyler Borko, and Lucas Hutzal on the attack. And the midfield dynamic and great speed of Sebastian Rzeczycki, along with 91 Matthew Dyszkiewicz and also 18 Błażej Pruszek. The rollback for Dyszkiewicz. Rzeczycki looks backside. Feet to Hutzal. Hutzal is in and it's fought off there. Hutzal, an indoor player in Canada. The rebound is gobbled up by the Poles. Dyszkiewicz's shot is deflected. Hutzal a recovery. Right back to Dyszkiewicz, who buries the third look for Poland. 1-1. Hutzal on the find.
Yeah, some very perseverant play there for the Poles. Obviously that first shot with a big save from the keeper, but it comes back out, they win the ball back and staying active off ball, and it's a nice look, a great finish.
And Dyszkiewicz, who got his feet wet in game 1, promising player who is a native of North New Jersey in Kinnelon, graduating 2 years ago from Don Bosco High School, and had a nice freshman year at Iona College in their very first season of Division I. Face-off win, Christopher Sloma, the D-man. Sloma the drop-off, and Spain gets back in the hole defensively. And the starters defensively for Spain, even without their tremendous player in Jackson Francisco Suarez, as we said before, likely will run onto the field and join them right away once he arrives from the airport. Daryl Hunter, start at Swarthmore, longtime coach Fernando Galinas, who's a high school graduate just last month, and Miguel Fernandez Contreras with the long stick mini Gustavo Diaz. Searching for the sweep right, this is Jan Ridzak, who just took a little bit of a bump and turns it over. And the takeaway by James Bell. And Bell, a big short stick D-midi, as he will drop it off. And Spain with their second possession. Very overcast conditions, some wind on this field. There is rain scheduled for the forecast, but it should hit immediately after this game. So we should be in the clear. And we'll see also, as I mentioned, Frazier, this field, it'll be curious to see what it looks like in about 3 days. Right now, it looks very good in terms of conditions. Feet to the front, Bota, and Bota might have hit the pipe behind Zvilewski.
It's a great little move. He's kept the ball well. He's took the shot just off the pipe, and another big stop from the keeper there.
And Griffin Guerin is denied, shooting to the stick side on Zvilewski.
Yeah, he looked a player for the Spanish team yesterday, Griffin. Very active in offense, and got a couple of goals, couple of assists, and he was a big player, and that's a big stop from the keeper. Early on in the game, that's what you want as a defense, to have your keeper having your back like that.
Poland goes offsides, and this is something that the staff spent a lot of time watching video. They had a day off yesterday. They went offsides 3 times, which cost them dearly in terms of turnovers. 3 times they were in the box just for too many men. Some opening night jitters perhaps too in front of a nice crowd. And the speed of the game is this one is an overpass handled by Hutzal with Hunter chasing. Hunter was a terrific takeaway man during his collegiate career at Swarthmore. He has been a part of the Spain national team ever since graduating Swarthmore in 2015. Feed to the front. Then the shovel pass outside, and Poland is going to reset. As Schmiegel thought better of it, and Poland will bring back perhaps their first midfield, or actually parts of it, and run some settled 6-on-6. Maciej Wojcik just graduated high school from Poland, and number 1 in red on for the first time. Poland had outfaced off Czechia on Wednesday. A lot of the numbers were good. Here is Dishkevich, and the save is made deep inside the net by Paul Walter Diaz. Well, oftentimes, Frazier, you don't see a goalie reach that far deep into the cookie jar, into the net to keep the ball out.
Definitely not. I think there was calls from the Poles that it might have crossed the line there. I think ultimately refs didn't see it. The keeper's done an excellent job keeping that out, and although the Poles keep the ball out, they keep possession. Sorry, it's exciting to see stops like that early on in this game and to really get this Spanish defense going.
There's Tyler Borko, had the step down, good look opposite from Sebastian Zhuchitsky. Heading into his sophomore year at Marist, and showed off his speed for Poland in the opener on Wednesday nights. Schmiegel, he will quarterback the attack during this tournament. Dishkevich with eyes to the front. Hutzal. Hutzal, an aggressive take again, and closing the near side pipe again is Paul Walter Diaz. And he is already on a hot alert here, Frazier, in terms of the way he's seeing the ball.
Yeah, he was excellent yesterday against the Ukrainians. He made a lot of big stops inside, and all round was excellent. I think he commanded that defense well, and he started hot today. So if you're the defensive coach for Spain, you know that you're in good hands back there.
Griffin Guerin. And he'll be teased and probed by Matthew Till, part of the Polish defense. Feed came to the front, and Zvilewski out of the crease, but we have a whistle.
I think we've got a loose ball hold there.
It is against Poland. Poland starters with a long Paul Midi. And Bartosz Kanarek, Klaus D, Matthew Till, Marcin Trach, and Adam Tomorek. And 4 quality Poles there for Poland. The depth this year for Bill McNamara was what excited him the most, and perhaps their strength this season, or at least this tournament, as Martinez Sierra, with Dishkevich remaining in as a D-mini. Spain has tallied once, also has hit a pipe. Elibargi Ramiro. Sean Brennan, the other D-mini, on for the Poles. Napolitano. And stepping into a high crease area slot is Griffin Guerin. Griffin Guerin, fascinating story, grew up in Florida, was recruited to play lacrosse at Middlebury College, which is a good Division III. decided to go study abroad in Madrid and has remained there and joining the Madrid Lacrosse Club to satisfy his lacrosse fix. Guerin left the defender in his track. Actually, 2 Polish defenders are shaken up, and the official now realizing with no sudden scoring opportunity, he needs to blow the whistle. And this is Matthew Till and Sean Brennan that may have collided against one another, and they are both shaken up.
Yeah, it was a nice little move from Griffin Guerin there. Gets underneath and causes the little bit of breakdown in communication from the Polish defense. A little bit of a collision. Good decision from the referee to make sure they're okay, but definitely expect to see a lot from Griffin Guerin here today. He was fantastic yesterday, and he's definitely a focal point in this attack for the Spanish.
Both Brennan and Till have to be evaluated, and time has to pass for them to return to the game. We've played 10 minutes, tied at 1. Group B action, Spain and Poland in Poland. Backside look came from Marquez Lorente. Recovered by Spain, and that shot misses, and a broken play. Spain playing and has come out, Fraser, looking fast and loose.
Yeah, it's very much how they played yesterday. I think it was a lot of off-ball movement, a lot of sharp little passes inside. That little move from number 22 here in Spain.
Yeah, Marquez Lorente.
Marquez Lorente, it was nice, and we saw a lot of it yesterday. Just a little bit of a hesitation on the dodge, and it opens up that Polish defense. I'm sure it's something they'll look for more going forwards.
Patryk Wojcik on the clear, and Poland back to work. And they have made life difficult for Paul Walter Diaz in terms of their shot volume and quality, but they've been held to just 1 goal. And among the areas for Poland, try to clean up the mistakes in the substitution box, and they want to move the ball much better today than they did against Czechia. Hutzal. And he'll be watched by number 30, Daryl Hunter today, particularly without Francisco Suarez not yet arriving, as he is en route. Hutzal got a high screen, hands free again. Walter Diaz making the save. And now he looks like he's playing in the park.
Yeah, another massive save there from Diaz. He was exceptional yesterday. They did make a little sub in the second half, but as soon as they put him back in the sticks, everything calmed down and it went back to normal. So they'll be relieved that he's so hot early on in the tournament.
Carlos San Martin had the clear, and we will have a timeout that is taken here by Spain to talk it over what's been an entertaining opening quarter. Ralph Bjornchik alongside Fraser Hunter, member of the Scottish men's national team player pool, joining you here from Wrocław, Poland. More thoughts from Jose Luis Mendoza, who grew up in Washington, D.C., but has lived in Spain for the last 13 years. He played both lacrosse and soccer at Division III Colby College up in Maine before a long story took him to Spain, and that's where his father is from, and he has remained there trying to elevate Spain lacrosse. They have about 10 club teams or so, with Sevilla, Madrid being heavily represented, and Bilbao. So Spain lacrosse has existed, and they're hoping, like many countries, to take the next step. The foundation has been put in. They have a lot of young kids playing, and they have a group also that's played together for about 10, 12 years. So they have some veterans that are nearing the end, too, that are hoping that they can make the best of it.
Certainly. I know England attacking coach Mike Bartlett was the former head coach for the Spanish team. He led them through the last European Championships and then sort of passed on to help the English out. Very experienced coach that a lot of his teachings will resonate still with this team, with the old guard still passing those on, but it's great to see a Spanish-based coaching staff really trying to drive this program forward. And as I say, I watched them yesterday and they looked very sharp and they looked very exciting, so I look forward to seeing what they can do in the rest of this tournament, and especially when they're not at full strength yet with a player still to arrive. It's great to see them doing so well.
And the feeling from Jose Luis Mendoza is our strength expects to be our defense and goalie, and so far that has shown itself. And with the ability of Daryl Hunter as a top defenseman, and then adding a former Division I player in Jackson Francisco Suarez, that could become even better in perhaps a half hour pending traffic.
Yeah, they'll definitely hope that the roads are clear for him to get here as soon as possible. But that being said, they've been solid defensively so far. I say that as the Poles go on a fast break here.
Julius Boke able to pick up the ground ball after the block shot by Adam Tomorek. A bit unsettled, entered into Hutzal. Just finished up his collegiate career at Lafayette. Is playing Senior A box lacrosse in his native Ontario. Hopes to keep it going. Tied at 1, nearing 2 minutes left opening quarter. Top 7 out of the 24 teams out of these European Men's Lacrosse Championships will advance into the World Championship held in 2027 in Japan. Poland losing by a goal in a real 50-50 type game in Group B to Czechia on Wednesday. Feet in front. Oh, there is a terrific finish. Borko found himself all alone. What a nice pass that was from Zachitsky, 2-1.
Yeah, I think the Poles really recognised the personnel well there. They saw Griffin Gurin, who is a very good attacking midfielder for the Spanish back on defence. They've gone to initiate on him. He's thrown a check that's left him without his stick, and the slides had to come early, and as you say, ditched it inside to Tyler Borko, who was calm and collected and slotted that one home. Gives them the lead. Not long left in this first quarter.
Borko almost catching the ball, surprised how open he was that deep of position. And the face-off, again controlled by Poland and Christopher Sloma. Native Long Islander, first-generation Pole. And the drop-off here for Hutzal. Final minute of the first. We'll see how Poland will manage this possession if they'll hold to the final shot.
Yeah, one thing I saw a lot yesterday was the Spanish defence seemed to be aggressive at a lot of times, particularly in transition. They'd come out and play a lot of body, play a lot of stick, and got a lot of turnovers for it. So I'll be interested when this Polish side's a little bit more physical than that Ukrainian side. Wonder if they're going to play the same way and try and force the ball back up the other end.
Also, Pavel Sobol has come in for the first time, 81 in red. But it is Hutzal to try to initiate with 25. Stick fake, Maciej Wojcik! Maciej Wojcik! His first international goal at the highest stage. Wojcik, just 18 years old, has made it 3-1.
Yeah, there was a lot of patience from the Poles there. They got it round really well. Waited for channels to open up, and as soon as he initiated in his dodge, the slide came early, and again, just a little bit of movement just opened up that shot there. And it's great to see someone getting a first international goal this early in the competition.
He's from the significant southern town of Krakow. They're so excited about him as a lefty offensive midfielder. Also made the senior national box lacrosse team for Poland, so it's his first international field goal. Outside field goal as Dyszkiewicz with 10 seconds to go. Dyszkiewicz thought about it. Hutzal with eyes to the front with 6, hits the pipe with the shot.
That's a good little hitch over the top, and he's pulled the shot well, but he's just hit the upwork, and he's getting it back in with 1 second left. Can he get anything out of this?
Dyszkiewicz, that would have been interesting. There are no decimals on the timer here, the represented timer. It would have been interesting, but it was off target. It is Poland, though, in an interesting one. 3-1 in Group B over Spain as we head to the second quarter. We're back with more action from Wrocław. You're watching the 2025 European Men's Lacrosse Championship on Lax TV and World Lacrosse TV.
Pojedziemy, teraz będzie nas lepiej słychać, że score is Poland 3, Spain 1, Mikołaj Miguel, no goals.
You know, like a watch. You know, all the little cogs in a watch. So you know about that. So.
Yeah, those three are really the ones like that open stuff up for them.
Start of the second quarter. Poland with late goals from Tyler Borko and Maciej Wojcik. A 3-1 lead over Spain. And what has turned out to a good game in terms of pace. Fraser, so many times in international lacrosse, the game can tend to be a little stagnant, bogged down. Not this one. There seemed to be a good miles per hour or kilometers per hour to it in terms of the movement.
Definitely. I think a lot of the time with no shot clock, teams tend to take the time a little bit more, and we saw it a lot with the Norway team yesterday and Scotland today. You slow the pace down and really work that opening, but today they've been held to leather as they go on a fast break here, and they get a goal just on cue.
What a feed. Borko from his knees is able to feed Lucas Hutzal after the face-off win from Christopher Sloma. 4-1 Poland.
Yeah, that was a commentator script if I've ever seen it. We're talking about them pushing the pace of the game, and look at that. The pass was a little bit off, but he's managed to control it on his knees and send that to a wide open shot on the back stick, and it's a great finish. Just picked his spot and stuck it in. Great to see.
And Sloma has found something here against Luis Corderque Ferrer. 2 clean face-off wins after Poland has changed it up. Poland with 3 different face-off guys. And among the teams that could have the most depth in that position, certainly most teams arrive with 2. Some of the developing nations only have 1 face-off guy.
Yes.
Or guys that maybe have one primary and a couple others that can do it, but it's not really a trained skill of theirs.
Yeah, I think the thing that took the sting out the Spanish team a little bit yesterday against Ukraine was the Ukrainian face-off guy, but towards the end of the game, he was the only one taking the draw and got a little bit tired, and Spain started to get a few back and extended the lead a little bit. We've got a timeout here for the Polish, by the look of it.
And we have an injured player for Poland, that's why. That's behind the play to our left, just as Poland turned the ball over on an over and back. And being evaluated right now.
It's number one,
Number one, that's Maciej Wojcik, who just scored the goal to make it 3-1. And Fraser, you know this better than anybody, being in the Scottish national team player pool. These tournaments are tournaments also of attrition. Not only do the best teams win, but you do need some fortune when you're playing, in some cases, 3 or 4 games in 5 days. At times, it won't be a full 24 hours between games. And
big time. We've seen a few teams take some big injury hits early on, and the Scotland team's got a couple, which hopefully they can come back from. But it's a roll of the dice sometimes, and you can be as fit as possible, but all it takes is a wrong twist of the ankle or something like that. And you know, especially now that they've reduced the size of the squad from 23 to 22, it's more of a hit, and you just got to see. Hopefully your players make it through, and with that they're physical enough to compete right till the end. Which no doubt, looking at both these teams, they look very in shape, and I'd imagine come the end of the tournament there'll be 2 teams that are competing to the very end.
It will be Spain ball, so Maciej Wojcik was able to come off the field under his own power. Good news for Poland, Matthew Till has already returned at close D, and I've not seen Sean Brennan. Actually, I do see Sean Brennan back on the field now.
Big support here for the Polish, as we'd imagine with them being the home countries. Big shouts for them to play good defence. We look down, and I mean, all along the field there's a couple hundred people there, I'd say, watching this game, which is great to see. I think the Poles will definitely be feeling that support behind them, like they were in that first game when they tried to mount a comeback near the end.
John Boda. Poland appears to be playing a version of a zone look. Very sloughed off here in front of their goalie, Christian Zvalewski, veteran of 15 years in the national team, has become a dual citizen. Napolitano here to quarterback as he calls out, asking for a screen. Now trying to sweep left. Till gives him a second slash, and that second one is going to cost him. And Till looking over to the official. He got enough of the body with the slash, so Spain will go man up for the first time.
Yeah, Matthew Sarias looked sharp yesterday on that lefty dodge. Just drives over the top constantly and draws the slash there. Obviously, the officials have blown the whistle. He's jumped out of the box and quite rightly ended the play. And now Spain have got the man-up opportunity.
El Bargui Ramiro, 31 in white. He'll move. Griffin Guerin pass outside, and Spain not quite on the same page for the start of this 1-minute slash against Till of Poland. And down on the crease now, El Bargui Ramiro. Now they'll take an outside shot, and the bouncer works. Boy, that ball bounced as if it was on turf. What a bouncer from Fernando Martinez Sierra. It's 4-2.
Yeah, he's just been given far too much time at the top of the restrainer there. He's dead center. He's liked the look, and he's just textbook overarm, put all the power into that bouncer, and he's hit the top corner. Keeper's dropped for it and misread it, and it's a great finish. And as a Polish defender, he'd be questioning why he's not had that pressure. And now they're getting called for an illegal procedure.
Yeah,
delay of game.
Poland did not have their face-off man Majic out there in time. Free possession for Spain. So another substitution issue as Poland tries to balance up. Meanwhile, Frazier, you as a player, how would you assess this grass to bounce the ball on as a shooter?
It's strange because obviously pitch one we've got a turf. I think the ball bounces a lot more on this grass than it does the turf. I think the turf takes a bit of sting out of it. Poland obviously playing there on a Friday have got to learn from it. But yeah, this grass, it's obviously not rained all that much over the last few weeks in Poland. It's quite firm, takes the studs well, but it's hard to read. And especially the more it gets played on, the bumpier it gets, those bounce shots are going to go anywhere.
Oh, good feed to the crease area. That was Boda on the sneak, but Boda was smothered and sandwiched. Now the battle for the ground ball, and we have a Spain player, and John Boda knocked down from behind. Loose ball push against Poland. Quick restart off the whistle for Spain. There's a shot and a bouncer. This time, Zvalewski reads it better. Griffin Guerin the shot.
Yeah, Griffin Guerin was a big player for the Spanish yesterday. He'll want to get on the scoreboard early enough. He's looked sharp today, but that one just not falling for him.
Zvalewski turns it over the offensive end. Net is empty as he scrambles. Here's Napolitano. Zvalewski returns, and finally he turns it over to Wojcik. In a chaotic sequence, Borko the other way, searching for Till. And appears like Poland is going to take a timeout to fully regroup and get on the same page.
Yeah, I think Spain have been on top for the start of this quarter, just over 5 minutes into it. Obviously a couple of goals. It's just been a bit of a scrappy affair in the midfield between the boxes, and Polish now they've got it in the attack. Just take that breather, let their attackers regroup and figure out what they're going to do to extend that lead a little bit more.
At 4-2, Poland, they put together a 4-goal run after John Boda gave Spain the lead. Then Fernando Martinez Sierra came back with an equalizer. Spain 0 for 1 on the man up. They got a 1-minute man up and then followed it up after the goal by getting a free possession due to Poland's second substitution infraction. So here we sit at 4-2, 9 minutes, 18 seconds left. Second quarter, this is the second full day of these European Lacrosse Championships. Notable results yesterday, Switzerland over Scotland, and then also a 10-goal bludgeoning by Latvia over the Netherlands in their group, which is supposed to be a close game. And then perhaps a near somewhat upset Slovakia had to come from behind on Greece, which is a little bit more Slovakia is a little bit ahead of Greece in their development, which would have been notable. And we are still awaiting our first overtime game, to my knowledge.
Yeah, there's been a few close calls on the overtime. I think one thing that's interesting to note as we restart here is, you know, the whole Polish team, they split into attack and defense, and the Spanish team brought all together in that timeout and just went, look, let's regroup. We're behind. We're together as one, and let's fight as so. So it'll be interesting to see how both teams come out of this timeout.
Wojcik, and returning from being shaken up before, Diskiewicz. Mikołaj Śmigol, what a little shovel pass inside! Oh, what a box flip pass from Śmigol to set it up for Sebastian Rzeczycki. Śmigol has really benefited from playing indoor the last 2 years. Well, that is as nice as they come in any country.
Definitely. It's worth noting early on, Poland clearly liking that little dodge from the side rather than your stereotypical alley dodge. Śmigol's just made a little move there, gone under and got his hands free enough to flick it back. And what a calm and collected finish from about 5 and 5. That's how you draw it up on the playbook, and it's come to fruition there. Like extends our lead.
Fraser like slipping the envelope under the door.
Definitely.
The way he made that pass. Face-off win by Till.
Do you know what? Early on in this competition, we've seen a lot of Poles coming off the face and scoring goals and being big players. He would have fancied himself there a little bit, Till, but...
Borko, and a slash is coming up against Spain. This is number 3 coming in, Jackson Francisco Suarez, who we mentioned just got off of a flight. Tremendous talent, who played at the University of Marquette in Wisconsin.
Oh, he's got a hold on that one, which was interesting. So it's only a technical, it's 30 seconds.
I'm surprised by that, but I can imagine the pent-up energy that Francisco Suarez has had in him upon trying to get here as soon as possible.
Definitely. It's traveling's hard, especially when your team's playing, so it's good to see him get on the field, but be annoyed at that one. It's a big stop.
Contested shot by Diskiewicz, save made by Walter Diaz. And now we'll get a hold called offensively against Hutsal of Poland off ball.
It's a big knockdown, but it's gone out of bounds there. That was number 34, Tyler Borko, with a big ride. Ball goes back to Spain, though.
Garcia San Martin will go back to Hunter.
Penalties already released for Spain, which they'll be relieved at.
Now Poland will try to apply some pressure on Hunter, who's been longtime club and high school coach in the Pacific Northwest in the Seattle area, native of Philadelphia. Now through the middle, Garcia San Martin, and here comes Griffin Guerin. 5-2 Poland, led 3-1 after one. All even here, with Poland showing flashes of playing a sloughed-off zone defensive look. A skip over the top, and that goes through the stick of Elbargi Ramiro. And the kind of unforced turnover you hate if you're the coaching staff of Spain.
Definitely. It's always about controlling what you can control. And that there was definitely something that they could have wheedled out. A little bit of a wayward pass, just gives the ball back to Poland, and all of a sudden they're back on the attack.
Poland will take the easy clear from Paweł Sobol. And they'll get their second midfield with Sobol, Rydzak, and Pruszek. Rydzak will look for the matchup. Sobol is a big lefty. Borko, nice one touch for Pruszek. And Spain has recovered well. Spain coaching staff asking during this tournament to play with a level of extended discipline. Not to be super aggressive, but you've got a hard job and to try to hold up for many days in a row. Hutzal outside. Schmiegel with the rollback. Schmiegel, face dodge to the front, fought off again. He got in tight, and the save had to be made. Forced save again, deep in the crease from Walter Diaz.
Yeah, it was a fantastic little move from behind. Starts with the swim dodge, then the rollback, gets his hands free above goal. And when you're in one-on-one like that, you expect to score, but it's a massive save from Diaz. Keeps his team in it.
And now for Spain on this end. They've settled the last couple of possessions for shots from distance. And here's another distance shot, easier read there. Zvalewski has started to get the feel of the grass on the bouncer. Fernando Martinez, the shot.
Yeah, I think the Spanish players just need to change the playing a little bit. It's a lot of high to low bounces, and with how firm the grass is, all the bounces are going high. So the keeper's starting to read it a little bit better. Just change the playing and make them guess a little bit more, and you might get more success.
Till will recover, getting the ball right back. Then right behind goal, Walter Diaz eventually will grab it. So a lot of activity there. And another near turnover deep for Spain. But Walter Diaz playing confidently and well again for Spain. They won comfortably yesterday against the Ukraine, building a big lead 9-1 against a more developing nation. Poland a bit more established.
Yeah, I think the Spain team tried to work goals a little bit more. They maybe could have individually ran up the score more, but they were trying to work them team goals, and some beautiful goals that they did score, so they're hoping that a few of them come to fruition today.
Griffin Guerin was active early, looked to sweep right. Napolitano, he fires, that's side netting. So this adjustment defensively here, Frazier, what's that done for Spain and conversely done for Poland? It appears like it is sort of an amoeba-type zone.
Yeah, I think that zone defense is forcing the shot a little bit more from the outside. They might be baited in, thinking that they've beat the dodge, but the second player's there and they're pulling the shots early, and you know the keeper's absolutely eating them up, and when he's not, they're going wide. So I think Spain just need a little bit more off-ball movement and try and open up that zone a little bit more, and with that the goals will hopefully come.
Defensive coordinator for Poland, Tom McCabe, longtime head coach at Bowdoin College in Maine. Dyszkiewicz. In his first international tournament coaching the Polish national team. As Zachicki outside. He swings it for Hutzal, and Hutzal got a pretty good rip from short distance. Final minute approaching, second quarter. Clock will stop inside of 30 seconds on any whistle. And the skip from Zachicki, and this is going to carry across. And Poland perhaps could have considered managing the clock there. They will not, and instead, Jose Luis Mendoza of Spain having a timeout to use. He'll gladly take it.
I was just about to say it'd be perfect with the turnover, a minute on the clock to call that timeout, regroup and try and get one back. Obviously, you want to aim for that last shot, and if you're going into the second half with a 2-goal lead rather than a 3-goal lead, it puts you in better stead. And, you know, the Spain team's not looked bad in attack. They've worked a few good chances. I think, shout out to the Polish defence. They have been tight since they've switched to that more of a zone look, and it's just an opportunity for the Spanish coaches to see what they've said, to say what they've seen, to change how the offense works, and hopefully try and break that zone down with the last 50 seconds.
Spain heading into this tournament, to describe their roster, a good mix of about half the team has played together a long time, about a decade, 10 to even 12 years, and then about 8 to 9 newcomers, including some young kids that are still in college or just on the verge of graduating high school even. But they spent a lot of time together since the fall of 24, mainly practicing and training in Madrid. They did a pre-tournament camp 2 weeks ago. They found a lot of random players from the U.S. that are studying abroad that were lacrosse players, random ex-Spain players, random youth players that are teenagers that are going to be part of the future. That's who they scrimmaged. And then when they got here to Poland, they scrimmaged a physical Croatia team. That occurred either Sunday or Monday to get ready for this tournament before taking the field yesterday and comfortably defeating Ukraine.
Yeah, it's a program that's definitely on the up, and I mentioned it earlier, Mike Bartlett, the work he did for several years, and now the new guard and the current coaching staff doing a fantastic job at pushing through those domestic players and really helping the game grow in Spain, which is fantastic.
Griffin Guerin nearly drew a slide. Napolitano. And Napolitano trying to figure out how to dodge against the zone. Shoots. And he got to the left of Brennan at the top of it, the D-midi. Still 25 seconds. Here's another shot. That is wide. Another whistle will stop it at 21 seconds. So here's where teams can be aggressive to use the clock to their advantage. Any shot wide or penalty, you get the whistle. Napolitano. Guerin with 10. Time to go for Spain with 6. El Bargui Ramiro over the top with 3. Napolitano now doesn't know it. And Spain runs out of time.
Big hype from the Polish bench there, being able to shut out a 1.5 minute offense after a timeout is huge going into that second half. They'll be able to regroup and have some confidence going into the second half. The Spanish have got a few things to tweak out, but they've definitely got the ability to break down this new Polish defense and get a few to bring that score back.
Tyler Borko with 1 goal and an assist. Lucas Hutzal 1-1 as well to lead the Poles. Martinez Sierra and Bota, the goal scorers for Spain. We'll be back in 10 minutes to bring you the second half. Poland leading Spain 5-2 on the second full day of the 2025 Men's European Lacrosse Championship from Lax TV and World Lacrosse TV.
Commercial break! We've been really busy over the past 2 years developing our very own women's lacrosse stick.
We are really, really proud of it. So stop by the shop. We would love to tell you more about it.
Good Stick Co. Come get a stick.
We honor our indigenous roots and international history. Lacrosse is more than a game. We play with speed, heart, and precision. Young, modern, electric, inclusive, growing across the globe. Lacrosse is everyone's sport, governed globally by World Lacrosse.
Good Stick Company is here to manufacture and produce lacrosse sticks locally here in the Czech Republic. Our mission is to make lacrosse more accessible so more kids can have access to affordable, high-quality equipment so more people can play this game and we can share this sport around the world. Our philosophy on pricing is quite simple. By removing all these different logistics and these middlemen in the manufacturing process of lacrosse sticks, we can pass those savings on to you. We can make these quality lacrosse sticks affordable for more people.
constantly dealing with something. I think it's in his head there. He pulled out because he was a bit injured, but he's back and he's bagged 5 goals yesterday. He looked sharp, so big up to him. Yes, he did. Much love to the kid.
Start of the third quarter, Poland holding a 5-2 lead over Spain. Greg Majec will win the faceoff cleanly out to his wingman Chris Sloma. Then the return to Sloma, who had a wide open path, is through his stick. Lucas Hutzal found him as the trailer. And that's the way the third quarter begins. Ralph Bednarczyk alongside Fraser Hunter, member of the Scottish national team player pool, who is here observing this tournament throughout and joining us on our coverage here on Lax TV and World Lacrosse TV. Poland trying to get to 1-1 in this pool. Spain would love to get to 2-0. They defeated Ukraine handily yesterday. Poland lost 10-9, a heartbreaker on opening night here on Wednesday. Hutzal on the pickup, and now a flag is out after the failed clear by Spain.
Yeah, it was a great pickup on the halfway line there. A little bit of a smooth Indian pickup, I would say. Just twiddled his stick around it, and he's just absorbed that pressure.
Start with the hidden ball trick, or at least the thought of it here with Błażej Pruszek, who will start at the top. And Hutzal, who starts behind. Borko to the wing, Zachitsky. Schmiegel starts movement. Pruszek to the stick of Schmiegel. They look for the sneak down low. There it is. It's Schmiegel through a rope to Hutzal.
It's fantastic rotation. It's your classic 3-3 little wheel rotation. All your righties moving, and it just forces that defence to leave your lefty wide open for that dunk down. And what a finish that is. Just a little quick stick, top corner. It's textbook, and I'm sure the coaches are proud of that one.
Hutzal, perfect finish, in and out. Fraser, you've been an attackman with Scotland. How difficult of a finish is that? How many years and repetitions does it take to have hands like that?
Yeah, I've missed a lot of those in my time. It's, you know, a quick stick's one thing, but that sort of precision on a quick stick takes practice, and it's a lot of wall ball, and it's a lot of reps, but he's clearly put the work in, and my God, he's hit a top corner. That's big for his team here early on in the third quarter.
Off the face-off, Garcia St. Martin is swarmed, but he physically will hold off the Polish ride, and Spain will look for a clear. Spain had a chance at the end of the second quarter to get closer. Jose Luis Mendoza, head coach of Spain, was able to spend a late timeout after a Poland turnover. But Poland got the stop, and now Spain having the extended 10 minutes, Fraser, to talk about perhaps their zone offense. Poland making the switch, I'd say about midway through the first quarter. And their zone defense, a sloughed off kind of 3-3, proved to be very effective.
Yeah, it's a very narrow 3-3 zone. I didn't even notice it personally straight away. They're very tight in, but the Spain team have sort of been baited into those outside shots as he takes another there. I think ultimately a lot of what they need to do, and hopefully it's what they spoke about, is just making those cuts off ball and making the zone move and be active, because if you let him stand there, the keeper's going to eat it up all day.
Bota, he with all the experience, could be the obvious one to try to make that adjustment. He's the obvious ex-attackman, number one there in gold. And can he navigate and help Spain navigate through this zone? Bota away from 6'5" lefty defenseman Tomorek. Out top, Marquez Lorente. With Bota cutting through the crease. And the return for John Bota. No shot clock in the international game yet. That's coming starting in major tournaments in 2027.
Good slide up there.
Till with the well-timed slide on Martinez Sierra, but we get a whistle. And the call
is on the hold, I think. When the pole slid there, he's thrown his stick out, and the offensive player for Spain has put his stick under his shoulder, and they've got the ball back, but Spain get it back off and out of bounds here. And Griffin's now pushing it.
Turning it over is Julius Boke, the D-Mini, and Spain right back in the box. And Poland will spend some more time defensively, nursing along a 6-2 lead.
I think Spain are really struggling to break down this attack here. They're very stagnant, and it looks like they're really struggling to figure out what's going on.
Napolitano tries to step through, save made by Zvolevski. Now the hunt for the ground ball, and we will get a loose ball push against Spain. Brennan, North Carolina native, and squeezes his way through.
An offside they've got away with there, I think, Spain. But then got a flag down the other end.
Brennan knocked down, and this should be a 30-second push with possession, so frustrations mounting for España. That'll be 25, Martinez Sierra. And Poland, who just ran a beautiful man up to start this third quarter, will get another chance.
Yeah, I think if I'm the Spanish coaching staff, I'm calling a timeout soon because you need to be able to break down that zone defense. They've really struggled. They've had possession for a couple of minutes there and just had nothing going. As Poland gets something, but...
Again, down low to Hutzal. This one fished out by Schmiegel. Poland out of the scramble recovers. Zhachitsky down low looking for Schmiegel. And it was behind him. That was considered a pass. Zhachitsky got caught a little bit in between. Now our official is going to blow the whistle, and he's actually going to point the other way to Poland. Schmiegel was indicating, I think, last touched by Spain on that feed by Zhachitsky.
To me, it looked a bit like a shot, so I don't know if that's why they've given it, but, you know, either way, they've got away with it there because it was either a poor pass or a poor shot, so gives them the opportunity to try and get another one and extend the lead, though, Poland, as the penalty gets released and we go to man-on-man.
All even. So Poland does not get a shot. They're in their second man up of the quarter. Schmiegel works against Fernando Galinas. He'll play college lacrosse. He's a native of Falmouth, Spain. Falmouth, Maine. It rhymes as Hutzal. He'll play at Division III, UMass South Boston. Spain, a sprinkling of Americans with Spanish heritage. Getting the high screen.
Good.
Dishkevich, save made again, Walter Diaz.
It's a great pick, and he's been given the time to build up that speed. And they've not really pressed out on him. Defenders sat on the restrainer, whilst he's near the halfway line. But it's another big save from the Spanish keeper, and he keeps his team in it yet again.
Carlos San Martin has been the guy that's quarterbacked the clear. They go here to Jackson Suarez. Suarez is a native of Dallas, played at Dallas Jesuit, one of the top Texas programs. Before playing for 1 year at Division I Marquette, he does his job and hands it off here to high school senior Matthew Napolitano in the New York City area, Westchester County at Iona Prep. And here's the communication even on the field for Spain to try to figure out what to do against this zone.
That's the thing. They've got some good individual dodges, but if you dodge on the zone, you're just dodging into someone else. They need to be able to move off ball and create a bit of havoc in there and make that zone move. And so far, since they switched halfway through that second quarter, Spain have really struggled making that zone move.
The cutter in front, and Griffin Guerin may not have been expecting it. And the ground ball picked up again for Poland. Twirling with it is Bartosz Kanarek, their long pole.
Yeah. Stockport Lacrosse player there, Bartosz. They'll be all the checks.
Bartosz Kanarek, born in Poland but lives in England. He reached out to Poland a couple of years ago and has come to every camp. And all of these nations developing, no matter what stage they're at, they have demanded commitment to make these teams. These are not teams that are put together within a couple of months, generally speaking. Now Dishkevich will take the D-midi behind and dodge from there, and against Ismael El Bargui Ramiro. Up top, Hutzal. Looks for a lane.
Dash.
Got it down low. Stop made low. Walter Diaz. There is a juicy rebound. And we'll get a loose ball push against Spain.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I think some of the defenders owe Paul Diaz a beer or two after this tournament because he's made some very big stops off a few little errors from laziness or just not watching cutters. He's been fantastic the last two games, and Another big stop there, but unfortunately they've turned over and Poland get another opportunity to extend their lead here.
Smiegel to initiate. Poland entering this tournament, a great feeling how much more diverse they can be offensively. There's the step down from Paweł Sobol. In terms of the additional personnel they've added, the greater depth, and being less reliant on maybe just a couple of players, more speed at the midfield, young legs of Życicki and Dyszkiewicz. Yeah, and Schmiegel's experience as a true ex-attackman.
I think the patience of this Poland. Oh, I was about to say the patience of this Poland attack might wear thin on the old Spanish defense, but they've thrown it away there.
Sobol sailing it on Dyszkiewicz, unforced turnover. Still 6-2. Spain has been given plenty of opportunities to climb back into this game. But since Poland has switched to the zone, and we could really just say it's been one goal over that period of about 30 minutes of lacrosse at this point, Fraser. Here's a low shot. Good luck, but Zalewski is there to make the save.
Yeah, it's, as you say, they've just been really slow. I think if you look at the scoreline, you'd imagine that Poland have had 90% possession, but they really haven't. It's been very equal. I'd say like a 60-40 in Poland's favour, but Spain have not been able to punish this Polish defence, and off the back of it, can't score goals.
That guy is Martinez Sierra. And here we see for the first time number 9, Candino Cantalejo Gomez as a different option up top at midfield. And to try to move personnel around. Bota searches. He gets a wing shot, and it's right into the stick of Zalewski.
We've got a flag. It's a push. 30 seconds, technical for a push.
So heading off is D-Midi Sean Brennan after Zalewski made his latest save on a wing perimeter shot.
Yeah, it was a little bit better work than some of their previous shots, but now it's gone down to a 5-man zone rather than a 6. We'll hope that Spain can get something from this.
What feels like an important possession here for Spain. They just did not get a shot on the last trip during a man-up. At least they're trying to practice against some form of a zone. They get an outside look here, and the bouncer from Martinez Sierra is wide.
Yeah, it was a better look. He had more space. He's able to jump in for it, but...
Now another rip. This is off the body of Tomorek by Griffin Guerin. 1 minute body check, so Spain... There it is. That's the best look in a half hour for Spain. Griffin Guerin finally got the skip pass in a decent area, and he promptly bounces it. Spain converts the man up. It's 6-3.
That's the one. They've struggled to break him down in a 6-man zone. They get to a 5-man zone, get a couple of looks, and as soon as that second penalty comes, Griffin Guerin, who was fantastic yesterday for the Spanish side, finally breaks a mark for them. It's a big skip pass across, and it's a great finish bottom corner for him. He'll be happy to be off the mark, and he's hoping it's not the last one today. This team wanting to get back into this.
And perhaps that'll give Spain some... And perhaps that'll give Spain a boost of confidence. Next zone possession. Hold is called against the face-off man.
And they're just trying to kill the penalty, and there it is. They know if the quarter ends with the penalty, they're starting with the ball, and that's what they're going to do. There's a bit of afters there from the Polish player in the pole that's pressed out on them, and the Spanish pole, should I say, that's pressed out on them. But
the Tomorek penalty, I think, just expired, so Dyszkiewicz held on to it. 6-3 Poland. Poland still down a man, so Adam Tomorik's penalty should have a few more seconds on it as we start the fourth. And Spain is not going to pressure out. And there are the final seconds.
To me, like Spain only have 5 guys on the field, and they're shouting to the bench now.
Yes, you're right. And this
terrible communication off the quarter time. And Poland, now the penalty's released, and looking to take advantage of that.
They swing it looking for Idzak. And Idzak will try to hockey stick it into the air, but he does so right into Spain. So both teams making errors there, but particularly
it's a hit-off ball there with there is a flag on the field for the late hit on the Spanish player, number 27, Carlos Martin. Clear the ball well. They take the shot. Still going to the man up. Spain.
Marquez Llorente taking the latest shot. So each time it looks like Poland might separate. They commit a penalty or just hang or allow Spain to hang around. Can España take advantage? They get another man-up opportunity. And their man-up finally converted on a Griffin Guerin goal. And it came at the tail end of a 6-on-4. It was already 6-on-5, but Poland had not yet balanced up. And here's some pressure on the hands and the ground ball by Sloma. So Christopher Sloma, a Long Islander, as he will motor ahead. And Sloma, and now another flag is out.
I don't know what it's for.
Poland only having 5 over, so what's the flag?
For a slash. I don't really know why they've called it when he's not dropped the ball or gone to goal, but it seems like it's a slash on 2-2 for us.
So Poland is granted a timeout, and on top of that, now they're going to have a man up from it. So it's been a bit of a calamity of errors for both teams. Poland to try to separate, and Spain to try to remain within striking distance. Here we've played a minute and change of the fourth quarter. It's just 6-3. Spain came out and looked very connected after scoring 16 goals yesterday against Ukraine. They were moving the ball quite well against the Poland man-to-man. Then midway through the first quarter, Thomas McCabe, the defensive coordinator of Poland, switched to a zone. And Spain has not looked the same since. They've scored just 2 goals in about 40 minutes of lacrosse since.
Yeah, I think they've got a team that has got a lot of quality players in there, particularly on offense, but they just need a leader out there to just shape them up and just direct it a little bit at the outside shots and the easiness that comes with it.
So Poland will have it. They are down a man until now. So now the 6-on-5 begins for the Poles. They've led by as many as 4 early third quarter. Tyler Borko.
It's good ball movement by the Poles here.
Pruszek gears up the hands, and Paul Walter Diaz able to stay with it to make the save. And swooping in for the ground ball is Gustavo Lopez.
He's been fantastic today, Paul Diaz. He's made a lot of big saves for his team in massive moments, and that was another one there. And all of a sudden, Spain clear the ball, they call a timeout, and they're looking hyped about it. They're wanting to get something from this attack.
Timeout by Spain, just as Gustavo Lopez Diaz was going to be in trouble. So an early one spent here in the fourth quarter. And again, another opportunity for Spain's coaching staff to discuss zone offense. And their zone offense shooting, Frazier, if we had that number, is something like 2 of 18.
Yeah, it's not a great number.
They've obviously had a very poor percentage.
They've had a lot of the ball whilst Poland have been in the zone, and the shots they're taking, I just feel like the players are getting a little bit overconfident, and they just feel like they've got the space and they can have the time to take the shots they want, but the keeper's just eating them up, and if the keeper's set, you've got to move him, and with that comes off ball cuts and becomes making him guess. And if everyone's stagnant and you're just stepping into a 12-yard ripper, he's going to eat it up all day long. So the coaches have got to be telling him to move off ball, and an outside shot now and then doesn't go amiss, but someone's got to move to make that keeper think that it's not going to be a shot. Hopefully they can change things up. Coming in with this, Griffin starting with the ball out here. Number 21, Griffin Gurin. He's a big player yesterday. He's got 1 goal today. He's definitely got the ability to shift the tides here for this Spanish team.
Of course, interesting 3-3 zone with the 2 short stick D middies right down the middle. In Wojcik, the low D midi, and up top, Sean Brennan. So Spain out of the timeout, and that is the last thing. That is part of the plan. Matthew Napolitano's pass sailed a little bit on his attackman, and Paul Herrero Sanchez, who just came in for the first time. And the kind of play that makes a coaching staff throw their hat.
Yeah, obviously Poland have only scored 6 goals, but you start looking at the game like this, and if they're going to throw the ball away, you start killing the clock. And I don't think any coach ever has looked at a 6-goal scoreline, sorry, a 6-goal lead, well, 6 goals for you, should I say, and gone, let's kill the clock. But you know, if they're going to throw the ball away and they've not scored since the start of the second, I think you start scratching it and just think, let's take the ball out, let's spread our attack and just take every single bit of wind out of this ball.
Diskevich to look to dodge from the wing. Zajitsky, backside, Hutzal. Schmiegel, the music you might be hearing, by the way, there is a festival that is getting set to be occurring in this facility just next to us this weekend. So they're doing air checks. That's why it might sound like it's an NBA basketball game with music during the action. It is actually from a nearby field.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. I thought they were just big Fraser Hunter fans and they were supporting me, but
no,
appreciate your clarifying there, Ralph.
Schmiegel ends up in a turnover, and Spain the other way. Napolitano. This game has been played exclusively in the half field, as we are deep now into the 4th quarter, playing nearly 5 minutes.
Yeah, the interesting thing for me is there's not been many successful rides in this game. Not many turnovers on the ride. I think a lot of the balls have just been long balls to midfielders and they've got it over and settled it, which has worked for the Polish because they've had a lot of attacks and stopped the Spanish scoring, but equally in other games they could be punished with that.
And they wheel it back behind for Boda. Look for the sneak, but met on the pipe by a Polish defender. Guerin. Napolitano finds a cutter. Good fake, but Boda hits the pipe with the shot. Everything but the finish for Spain.
They come back up with it here, Spain, but that's the little cut we've been looking for. Just opened up that Polish defense. Had the little cut inside the feed. It's unfortunate on the finish, but they've got the ball back and they hopefully give them a little bit of confidence.
And then they'll get Till on a slash. On the pass to Boda, Fraser, that's about perhaps the first completed pass into the paint that Spain has been able to make in their zone offense today.
And I hate to be critical, but it seems like the first successful cut they've had into the paint on this offense. He clearly cut within 10. I don't know if it's off his own back or if the coaches have said, just move your feet, but he's done it well. He's caught it just off the pipe, just bounced out. It's unlucky, but hopefully now they see a little glimpse of this is what we need to do and they can open it up a little bit more. But they get the extra man offense here, which hopefully helps them a little bit as we want this game to close the gap a little bit.
Till in the box, 1 minute slash. Spain continues to be given chances, trailing 6-3. Guerin, wing shot, Zvalewski the save.
Another big save. He's been fantastic in the crease today. Just big save after big save, and he's made it hard for the Spanish. Shot wide there. Not going to help the occasion. 8 minutes or so left on the clock. Spain need one quickly.
Opportunity. Guerin, down low, Boda, fake finish.
And there it is, just on cue. I've been jinxing teams all day. And there's another one. It's a nice little move off ball, just gives it. The communication between the low defender and the high defender. The low defender clearly thought he could get up there and cover, but he's just left that space for the attacker at X. Boda's just come round, just been absolutely clinical like he was last game. Just put it in the back of the net. Narrow that gap. Spain will have a little bit of hope going into the last 7 minutes here.
Second goal for John Boda, who is a high school coach in the New York area. Face-off win, Cordurque Ferrer.
Want to come with the ball, though.
Before it becomes a 3-on-3 scrum.
A little dive, it looks like it's going. It is indeed, it's going to Poland there. Get it over the halfway line. They'll set it down. They'll try and kill it as much of this clock as possible while they get the subs on. Get the right personnel for another goal and extend that lead.
Under 7 minutes to go. Still well too early to think about managing the game. Poland yesterday had to come back from a big hole. They trailed 10-5, or should say 2 nights ago against Czechia. Made it 10-9 and had a shot to tie it with about a minute and a half to go. But a terrific save was made, and then the ball was kept off the line by the Czechia goalie and Jacob Malasek. So what will their philosophy be? They throw behind to Dishkevich.
She's been really patient with it here.
Dishkevich draws some help. Zhetsky shot, and that goes off the body of Carlos San Martin.
Yeah, they retain the ball here, the Poles. Good backup. Good movement off ball as well. They were patient, waiting for the right cuts to happen, and then they made the move.
Hutzal has been quiet. He does have the man-up goal early third, but they have not been able to find him.
Good roll
Now the roll
inside.
back, and Dishkevich missed. He stepped and rolled into a 5-yarder.
Yeah, it's a fantastic little move. He had the footwork. He had his defender beat, and then as soon as he rolled, he had him beat more. Got his hands free, tucked it, but he just tucked it too near side. Goes wide, but his team retain the ball here.
Schmiegel, stall warning is in effect. There's more room on the sides on these fields, but less up top due to these field dimensions.
We've just hit 5 minutes left in the game. I think the Spanish might be looking to play out a little bit more. It's a good move, and it's a great finish there.
Dishkevich off the face dodge. This time, he hits the cage. He just missed one 30 seconds ago. That's a big goal to make it 3.
Yeah, and it's a massive celebration from that Polish attack. They know how much that means. It was a 2-goal game. As you say, it was a great little face dodge underneath. Gets his hands free, sticks it bottom corner. And all of a sudden, it's a 3-goal game with 4.5 minutes left. It changes the tide of this one, and the Spain team are going to be kicking themselves at letting that happen.
Procedure, false start is called against Christopher Sloma, who will be a freshman at Fairfield University in Connecticut, but Spain
throws
the ball away.
Looked like he kept it into me, but again, referee's got a better angle, and Poland again upfield.
An overpass, Rydzak pursues and flipped back in very beautifully by Spain's Gustavo Lopez Diaz.
Yeah, Napolitano with it now. Was very active in yesterday's game, and he's trying to be active today, but he needs to get things going now if he wants to get his team back into it. 3.5 left in this one. 3-goal game. They need something, Spanish.
And they'll try a rip from distance from Martinez Sierra. Probably not the look you want.
Back up. Yeah, it's not an ideal look, but you know he does have a bit of a shot on him, Sierra. But if it gets your team the ball from behind and it gets things moving, then you won't complain. throws a little fake there, drives it behind himself. He'll want to get things turning.
Martinez Sierra over the top jump shot attempted by Griffin Guerin. He kind of stepped into the passing lane before that shot was blocked. 7-4 Poland after Matt Dyszkiewicz's second goal of the game. Gives Poland some real breathing room with 2:40 left. Again, Griffin Guerin, bouncer save made by Zwolewski.
Yeah, I think the Polish keeper, Zwolewski, has been unbelievable today. He's had a lot of shots on him and he's made some big saves. Obviously, a lot of them have been from outside shooters, but things like that, when you've got the defence turning and you're on the back foot, really change the tide of a game, and it's been phenomenal.
And they go long with that pass by Tomorik on the money for Hutzal. So Spain will have to commit and extend themselves. Hutzal along the sideline. We hit 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Clock will stop on any whistle now. Poland trying to pick up their first win on home soil, hosting this men's European Lacrosse Championship in Wrocław. Dyszkiewicz, inside roll, has the chance. He's got another in the fourth.
Nasty.
Matt Dyszkiewicz has given Poland a chance to see the finish line. It's 8-4.
Nasty little turn. He's come up. He's baited his stick like he wants to be a passer. He's really sold the defender who's overcommitted on that top side. And he's just been silky underneath. Thrown a little pump fake, stuck it in the back of the net. And he should have solidified the win for his team here. He got the last one. He's got this one. Big moments from the big player there. That's for sure.
Entering his sophomore year in the New York area, Iona College, he has had to become their primary midfielder in terms of initiation, as here is Sean Brennan with the key face-off win. 1:35 to go. Poland had to look at themselves in the mirror after Wednesday night's loss to Czechia. A lot of unforced errors that cost them that game. Credit the Czechs for building the lead. They were prepared to come into a true road setting and pick up the opening night win. And Poland eventually able to separate up 3-1 at the end of one, 5-2 at half. Led by as many as 6-2, but they could never quite put Spain away. That shot from the outside, save is made by Zwolewski inside the final minute.
Zwolewski has been quality today. The defence has baited those outside shots, and he's just set them up time after time. We've got a Polish timeout here, and you know, if I'm a defender, if I'm an attacker even, I'm giving that man a handshake and I'm saying thank you very much, because he has an absolute blinder today, Zwolewski. He's just set them all up and just made this game his own.
He gave up a goal on the bouncer to Guerin rather early in the game. That was actually Martinez Sierra at 4-2. Since then, every other bounce shot, Christian Zalewski's been able to see the ball as if he couldn't see that first one well or judge the bounce. But since then, in the next 8 or so bounce shots here, Fraser, he's seen.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's different. I've said it in a couple of games that I've done that the turf on field one, although it's a better surface if the weather's turned, it doesn't bounce as well. And, you know, some of the bounce shots he saw in that Czech game bounced lower, and he might have come in watching game film thinking, I've gone too high for these bounce shots. So that first bounce shot might have given him a bit of an awakening, but he's come back high and he's saved every bounce shot that's come at him after that first goal. He has been an absolute stud in the goal for his teammates. You know, and if he doesn't win man of the match from their perspective, then I don't know who will, because he has been an absolute stonewall back there. And with his defence doing an absolute job, he's ate up everything that's sent to him from the outside, and it's great to see.
Sebastian Drzycki could be the fastest player on this Polish team, but he runs right into the double team. Still time for Spain. They need shots quickly. Napolitano. And off the face dodge, Poland able to get back into the box. Roll back to Napolitano.
And there he is again.
Zwolewski
just eats it up. He just eats it up. He just makes it look so easy. And it's you know, if I'm another team that's going to face him later in this tournament, I'm panicking, because if it's a bounce shot, I'm eating it. If it's high, I'm eating it. You know, he looks so confident. And I don't know what the call is here. There's 12 seconds left.
The official pointed to a flag down with Zalewski having escaped the crease with 12 seconds left. It's 8-4. But it is inevitable that Poland is going to get into the win column here. And
yeah, they're going
to move forward into the rest of their schedule. It took a young player, just 19 years old, Matt Duszkiewicz, 2 key goals in this fourth quarter to extend from 6-4 to 8-4. And then the goalkeeping, as we've seen develop over this game from Christian Zalewski. But Poland finally has a win on home soil.
Throws it up in the air. Just before we go off there, I want to give a big shout out to my boy Julius Bochic, who short stick D-midi, put a shift in for the Poles. Played a couple times with him for the Paddington Bears. He put a shift in, along with everyone else in that Polish zone. And as I say, the goalkeeper, definitely my man of the match. He's made many a save and sent the ball back down the other way more times than I can count. So, fantastic defensive display for the Poles. Spain will be unfortunate. Don't want to build on it and go back to the next game looking for another win, because they've got the talent to do so. But a great game. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Mine as well, Fraser. 8-4 the final. Matt Duszkiewicz finishes with 3 goals. Jan Schmiegel also with a pair of terrific assists in the second quarter and 1 in the third. That gave Poland some separation. Lucas Hutzal with 1 and 1. Tyler Borko with 1 and 1 among the leaders. Spain got 2 goals from attackman John Matthew Bota. That's the final here, 8-4, as Poland takes care of Spain to pick up their first win in Wrocław, playing on home soil at the 2025 Men's European Lacrosse Championship here from Lax TV and World Lacrosse TV. Stay tuned for more coverage coming up the rest of this night and into tomorrow. We'll be bringing you nearly 100 games here from Wrocław through July 19th, through the championship and all the medal round games and through the losers bracket. That's it for Fraser Hunter. My name is Ralph Bedorczyk saying so long and goodbye and good night from Wrocław, Poland. You've been watching the 2025 Men's European Lacrosse Championship on Lax TV and World Lacrosse TV.
Wind here with Christian Delevsky. So how did the defense and the zone, how did that help you guys today?
Yeah, I mean, defense just gave me shots that I could see. We really harp on communication and being in the right spots and having sticks in the passing lane. So, you know, they just gave me shots 12 to 15 yards that we want and gave me shots that, you know, I could save. So.
And then after the game versus Czech, you guys had a tough loss and you had a day and a half to prepare for this. What was that like?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely took that one to heart. We prepared very hard for the Czech and unfortunately, you know, came out on the losing end. So we had to reset very quickly and just focus on the next play, the next team, the next game. So, you know, quick turnaround in this tournament, not a lot of time to dwell on, you know, the bad mistakes or the losses. So on to the next.
And finally, you got the support of all your fans here on your home turf. How does that feel?
Oh, it's incredible. You know, this fan base is absolutely amazing. My dad's here. Our friends and family are here. They really support us, and we know how much this means to them. So it just gives us that extra energy that we need to, you know, come out and get a win for them.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I am here now with Griffin Guerin after his game with Poland. And how is the defensive zone of Poland?
It was tough. I mean, one in the beginning of the game, the man v man, we were breaking it. We felt really good that we can take their guys, and that zone they had a good goalie, and he was saving all our shots, and by the time we figured it out at the end of the game, it was too late. So.
And you guys both had a lot of fans, you guys and Poles. How does the atmosphere of this game? It's much different from yours yesterday. Right. So how did the atmosphere affect the game?
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. There was at one point I drew a penalty here, and they were booing me, and it fueled me, and I love it. It's good. It's part of the game, and it helps everything out, and I love to have that. All the fans are here. So.
And finally, our last question. Everyone's dying to know. What's the hair care routine?
The hair care routine. Everyone always tells me, but I shampoo and conditioner every night. I know it's not great for the hair, but it makes it smell good. It makes it, even now, after the pads, it's still, it's good.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Commercial break. We've been really busy over the past 2 years developing our very own women's lacrosse stick.
We are really, really proud of it. So stop by the shop. We would love to tell you more about it.
Good Stick Co. Come get a stick.
We honor our indigenous roots, and international history. Lacrosse is more than a game. We play with speed, heart, and precision. Young, modern, electric, inclusive, growing across the globe. Lacrosse is everyone's sport, governed globally by World Lacrosse.
Good Stick Company is here to manufacture and produce lacrosse sticks locally here in the Czech Republic. Our mission is to make lacrosse more accessible so more kids can have access to affordable, high-quality equipment so more people can play this game and we can share this sport around the world. Our philosophy on pricing is quite simple. By removing all these different logistics and these middlemen in the manufacturing process of lacrosse sticks, we can pass those savings on to you. We can make these quality lacrosse sticks affordable for more people.